this great party are happening as we report tonight here on India Matters. Thanks as always for being with me. These are the headlines at 9 tonight. Trinamool turmoil reaches Parliament. Over 20 Lok Sabha MPs are in full rebellion. They make Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar their chief. Rebels to back the BJP-led NDA. Can you imagine that? Crisis deepens amidst Mamata's Delhi visit as Bengal Chief Minister also meets the unhappy MPs. India Bloc brainstorm in the national capital today. NDTV gets inside details. Rahul Gandhi flags lack of support from allies like the CPM. SP calls for engagement with Aam Aadmi Party and DMK, which bunked the meeting. Mamata seeks support amidst her party's total implosion. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Vijay surprises Grandmaster Ramesh Babu Pragyananda with a chess game and a 50 lakh rupee check at the Secretariat. Pragyananda made history in Oslo by becoming the first Indian to win the prestigious Norway chess title. Missile exchange between Iran and Israel raises risk of a wider war. After call for truce, Trump says peace talks progressing in the right direction, claims Netanyahu doesn't call the shots. In a rare visit, Chinese President Xi Jinping lands in Pyongyang in North Korea. It's Xi's first visit to the isolated country in 7 years as China-North Korea ties stand at a new historical starting point. And on the show tonight, like I said, Ore Baba is what so many people in the Trinamool and its ecosystem must be saying, because it is unthinkable, almost unbelievable what is happening to the party that most people believed Mamata Banerjee controlled like a vice grip. And on the second half of my show, 3 days after Singham cop Annamalai left the BJP, his biggest friend and backer S. Gurumurthy speaks out. He breaks his silence first and exclusive right here tonight on my show. You don't want to miss it. What's going to happen to Annamalai? Where is he headed? Mr. Gurumurthy will be joining me to talk about it. Let's begin with our top story tonight. Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool Congress is, according to some people, in its final act. If you looked out the window right now in the national capital, you would agree. At least the Trinamool Congress that the country knew thus far seems to be on its last legs. A rebel faction of MPs led by the very visible Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar, once among Mamata Banerjee's most trusted lieutenants, has pulled 20 of the Trinamool's 28 Lok Sabha MPs away from the party and pledged their support to the arch-enemy camp, the BJP-led NDA. 20 out of 28 MPs. Now, you could call it a crack in the wall, but I'm going to call it the wall actually coming crashing down. Now, the country has been watching with morbid fascination as this implosion of Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool Congress intensifies, unchecked and almost theatrical. At its center, a leader once celebrated for her incredible grip on party loyalty, a street fighter seen to be the last powerful stand against the BJP nationally, now withered and abandoned by the very people who fought in her name, won in her name. But it is the cast of characters this crisis has revealed that is genuinely fascinating and worth reflecting on. There are the loyalists, still fearful of Mamata, their muscle memory stopping them from even daring to contemplate betrayal. Then there are the rebels, each arriving at the unthinkable through their own merry mix of reasons, from corruption in Bengal to the long shadow of Didi's powerful nephew Abhishek. And then there is a third group, one of the Trinamool's most visible, Mamata's band of urbane Mahila MP soldiers, some of whom have found it fit and entirely appropriate to be partying in London right now while continuing to pontificate from afar about the traitors who've harmed their beloved Didi and their beloved party. They're partying in London while their party is collapsing. Now, this meltdown has many ingredients, many interests, pulling in many directions. Is this the end of Mamata's Trinamool as we know it? Now, that we'll find out soon enough. But has it revealed yet another house of cards where most of India thought a strong castle once stood? Absolutely. The fragility of power and the facade of strength is only ever as strong as the last election result. And that is the reality that the Trinamool faces tonight. Now, let's talk about the fight for the Asli Trinamool Congress. Now, I want to break it down for you so you have a sense of which camp is where, what the numbers are right now. Now, you've got the rebel camp, which is led by Dr. Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar. At one point of time, one of the closest people to Mamata. She's been with her for 40 years, through thick and thin, before the Trinamool, etc., and someone who has always claimed total loyalty. She's an unthinkable rebel leader against Mamata right now. The Mamata camp is led, of course, by her powerful nephew, Abhishek Banerjee. The rebel camp also has Shatabdi Roy, another very, very visible and prominent erstwhile Mamata loyalist. The Mamata camp has Kalyan Banerjee. The rebel camp has Bappi Haldar, again a very visible MP. Mamata camp has Shayoni Ghosh, needs no introduction, has been going very, very viral through the election campaign. The rebel camp has Abu Tahir. The Mamata camp has Derek O'Brien. The rebel camp has Jagdeep Basunia. The Mamata camp has Mahua Moitra, perhaps their most visible face in parliament. The rebel camp has Sharmila Sarkar. The Mamata camp has Sagarika Ghosh. The rebel camp has Kalipada Soren. The Mamata camp has former cricketer Kirti Azad. The rebel camp has Asit Mal. The Mamata camp has former film star Shatrughan Sinha. The rebel camp has Khalilur Rahman. The Mamata camp has Dola Sen, fierce loyalist of Mamata Banerjee. The rebel camp has June Malaya. And we don't know what the other numbers will actually be saying right now. Now, there's an advantage for the NDA in Parliament with Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar leading this rebel camp and announcing that 20 out of 28 MPs in the Lok Sabha are now extending their support to the NDA and therefore adding to the NDA's numbers. What does this mean? In the Lok Sabha, there are 543 seats. The NDA, which is the BJP plus, currently has 293. The BJP alone has 240. The India Bloc has 233. Now, the Trinamool, with 27 MPs, two-thirds majority in the Lok Sabha is 363. If 20 Trinamool MPs back the NDA, as Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar is saying, then that's 293 plus 20, that is 313. The India Bloc is 213. The NDA doesn't quite get to that two-thirds mark, which it needs for things like the women's bill, etc., but it gets significantly closer to the two-thirds majority. You cannot sneer at 20 MPs. That is a sizable chunk being carved out of the Trinamool and been taken in. And I want to introduce tonight onto our coverage tonight at 9. Shreyashi De is our reporter in Kolkata who broke the story of what is still, in many people's view, unthinkable. The biggest political news break of the month comes from NDTV's Shreyashi De in Kolkata. The fact that Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar, leading this rebel faction, Shreyashi, has pledged support to the NDA, or at least says that's what she's going to do. It is incredible. You broke it long before anybody else did. So first of all, congratulations on that news break, Shreyashi. But my question to you tonight is, even as we speak, there are people heading to Shatabdi Roy's house. There's a lot of cloak and a lot of shadow boxing taking place, a lot of lobbying that must be taking place. Is this rebellion going to succeed? Are they really divorcing in this big way from Mamata Banerjee? How do you see it, Shreyashi?
What a political thriller it has been, Shiv, today in the national capital for the Trinamool Congress, and at a time when the party supremo herself is in the national capital. We are seeing the West Bengal Chief Minister Shubhendu Adhikari at Shatabdi Roy's residence, 4 times sitting Trinamool Congress MP hosting other rebel TMC MPs along with the West Bengal Chief Minister. It's almost the climax there at Shatabdi Roy's residence. And of course, because this is going to be a big signal for the Trinamool Congress after a jolt here at the Vidhan Sabha, where her MLAs turned their back against Mamata Banerjee. Now that spilling onto the parliament. This morning we reported how Shukendra Shekhar Roy had stepped down from the Rajya Sabha membership. Thereafter, we saw the meeting taking place at Bhupendra Yadav's residence, who was in charge of the BJP Bengal's election here in the state. And Shubhendu Adhikari was present for that meeting as well. We know MPs who were not communicative, their WhatsApp messages were on one tick, their phones were unreachable. Superstar Dev Adhikari, sitting Trinamool Congress MP from Ghatal, cancelled his shooting last minute and rushed to New Delhi. All these signaling at something big that was brewing in the national capital. And we got the first confirmation from a rebel Trinamool Congress MP, Dr. Sharmila Sarkar, who told NDTV there were 20 Trinamool Congress MPs who were forming a separate bloc, different from Mamata Banerjee's Trinamool Congress, and extending support to the NDA, which is a big setback for Mamata Banerjee at a time she is seen sharing that space with other opposition parties in New Delhi at the Constitution Club, hugging Sonia Gandhi. That picture came out, and at that point in time, the timing has been such that it is going to be one of those historic moments for the Trinamool Congress. While they are still putting up a brave face, but within the party, the mutiny has now spread to New Delhi.
Okay, Shreyasi, I'm going to ask you to stay with me through the first half of this show. We've got guests joining us in just a bit, and I'm going to ask you to throw some questions as well. And the reason I ask Shreyasi to stay with me today is because this is a story that is in motion. It's moving rapidly. There are literally leaders like Shubhendu Adhikari and others sitting in the rebel camp MP's house right now, figuring out what this rebellion is going to shape up to look like. Now, obviously, if it goes through, it will be an advantage to the BJP-led NDA, because if 20 Trinamool MPs are pledging support to the NDA and adding to their numbers, it's a big majority boost to the NDA ahead of the crucial monsoon session of Parliament. Extra support to help the NDA on issues like delimitation and the women's quota bill. But importantly, it doesn't help them reach that two-thirds mark, but inches them a little closer. Reports say the government is already in touch with DMK MPs on the issue of delimitation. The DMK may abstain. Now, if 20 Trinamool MPs plus 22 DMK MPs back the NDA, it crosses the two-thirds majority mark in the Lok Sabha. So the arithmetic definitely very significant for the NDA. Now, joining me live, Shreyasi continues to be with me, but welcoming onto our conversation this evening, even as, like I said, the story is playing out like a thriller inside some of those homes of those rebel MPs. So facts might change, updates might change, and I welcome onto our coverage tonight Dr. Shantanu Sen, former Rajya Sabha MP. He quit the Trinamool just last month in protest against many things. He took the election result as a message from the people and taking some kind of moral authority on it. He resigned from the Trinamool. Tausif Ahmed Khan is a political analyst, and Shikha Mukherjee is one of Bengal's most senior and well-regarded journalists and columnists. Thank you, all of you, for being with me tonight. Shreyasi continues to be with me, but I'd like to start this conversation by asking Dr. Shantanu Sen, this rebellion that is taking place right now, Dr. Sen, you know, you threw in the hat, you left the Trinamool last month. Right now, Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar says she's got 20 MPs and she's going to pledge support to the NDA. What do you think of that, Dr. Sen? And welcome to all of you.
Well, I can't hear you properly, but so far I could listen to you. You know, this is an inevitable consequence which could have taken like 6 months or 1 year. But the utter denial mode of the party supremo, even after getting miserably defeated, has brought this consequence so faster. And in the democracy, it is only the number which matters. So the way 60 elected MLAs out of 80 in state of West Bengal and 20 elected MPs out of 28, the way they came together and maintained all the protocols and formalities of West Bengal Legislative Assembly and Indian Parliament, and they came together, they formed a separate bloc, and they have given their appeal before the Honorable Speaker in Parliament and in West Bengal Assembly as well. So they have done everything lawfully and rightly. The reason is when the party is getting rejected and refused and rejected by the common people at large, then you have to have the mentality of accepting the public mandate. Instead of getting miserably defeated on 4th of May, the party supremo is saying, no, we haven't lost the election. We have won. Saying this, they are raising their hands. This is not done. Party has, common people has not accepted this thing. And ultimately, politicians do politics for the common people. All these MLAs and MPs, they are answerable to their electorate. That's why they have done the right thing. And whatever they have said, they will be working for the greater interest of the country in the parliament with the collaboration of the union government and in our state of West Bengal with the collaboration of state government. So finally, politicians do politics for the greater interest and for the development of their own state and their country.
Okay.
That's what they have done, rightfully.
Shikha Mukherjee, what would you say about what is playing out right now? There are multiple leaders, like Shreyasi has been reporting, who are at Member of Parliament Shatabdi Roy's house, obviously trying to stave off this large rebellion crossing over to the NDA. How do you see it?
I think, Shiv, the point is that this was kind of expected. That there would be, I was expecting defections, but when defections on such a large scale is not possible, then obviously the party is going to split Maharashtra style. That's what I realized when I heard the BJP telling me that, but we are not welcoming anybody. So obviously there was going to be some kind of a split within the party.
Yeah,
the most important thing is that the breathless speed with which it has happened.
Yeah.
I think that is fascinating. Why? Because it's very, very difficult to get 60 people on the same side at this, within this short period of time. Interesting. The fact that Kakuli Ghosh Dustidar is leading the rebellion in Delhi is not a surprise.
Yeah.
Why? Because, if you remember her spat with Kalyan Banerjee, her complaints to Mamata Banerjee, her outburst over it, and then her letter to Om Birla, all of this gave an indication that Kakuli Ghosh Dustidar was going to be would be leading the rebel dismemberment of the party in Parliament. What is interesting is the fact that in the state legislature, the BJP's hand, as it were, was not evident.
Right.
It was not upfront. Here we can see Bhupendra Yadav's role coming into play. He's hosting them. He's obviously helping them strategize or whatever, because he was part of how the BJP functioned for the last 6 months in West Bengal. He was one of the masterminds there. So you have this rush in terms of Parliament. Parliament has a reason. As you very correctly pointed out, the BJP is a minority, it needs these numbers. But the BJP has a 2/3 majority in the state assembly, where it doesn't need these numbers at all. So it's a very, very interesting way of looking at why.
No, and also, Shikha Mukherjee, the story is not over, because right now the lobbying is still, the funny part is the lobbying is still going on. Shreyasi, I'm going to come to you in just a moment. I want to tell our viewers that Kakuli Ghosh Dustidar is about to join us live as well. So we'll be able to take questions with her live right now in just a couple of minutes. But Shreyasi, is Mamata in touch with these rebels? Is she picking up the phone and speaking to them as well? What's going on? We know Shuvendu is there. Is she reaching out to them?
Well, what we have picked up from the Trinamool Congress is that Mamata Banerjee had anticipated this backstabbing, for which on the 20th of May she had written to Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla reiterating that Kalyan Banerjee is the party chief whip in the Lok Sabha and to take action accordingly. And that letter has been resent by the party to all the journalists today covering this particular news break in the national capital, which goes on to show that the party was prepared for this, but probably the timing was not known. She had left yesterday for New Delhi, and at a time when she is at Abhishek Banerjee's residence, there's a meeting happening at Shatabdi Roy's residence.
Yeah.
Now, for the viewers, there was a time when Shatabdi Roy had decided to step down from the Trinamool Congress, and at that point, I remember covering that story and going to Kamak Street where Abhishek Banerjee's office is, and after that meeting, she decided to take back her resignation because of the star power she had, which could garner support for the Trinamool Congress in Birbhum. She's a four-time sitting Trinamool Congress MP from Birbhum district. But of course, now, as you said, the lobbying still continues. We are yet to see Yusuf Pathan in person, if he joins this rebel faction or not. Just a day back, he had put out a video statement saying that there was no kind of pressure on him to vacate his seat, to allow Mamata Banerjee to stand for re-election from the Behrampur seat that he had won in the 2024 Lok Sabha elections. But of course, the larger picture that is playing out in New Delhi right now is that these Trinamool Congress MPs who have won under the Mamata Banerjee flag is now joining hands with the BJP and very strategically chalking out their next political strategy in New Delhi.
Tausif, is this a done deal in your view? Or is there still some room for negotiation? Do you think these MPs are willing to speak? Mamata Banerjee is in the city. She's also in Delhi. She's in Abhishek Banerjee's house. What's going on, Tausif?
No, Shiv, I think right now is the time of execution. Whatever decision was to be taken is already made. Therefore, it is a done deal, as you had put it. There's no going back. And nothing has come as a surprise. If you really ask me that they should have not betrayed Mamata Banerjee, I will agree, because both in the 2024 Lok Sabha election and in the 2026 Assembly election, Mamata Banerjee had declared herself to be the candidate on all constituencies. People voted in the name of Mamata Banerjee, not in the name of any candidate. Therefore, the candidate face has always been irrelevant.
Okay.
However, we now see these candidates showing their power, showing their strength by coming together and breaking the party. There may be reason, and I agree. I agree that there has been justified reason for breaking away from the party now.
Yeah.
Therefore,
Tausif, just hold on to that thought. Apologies for interrupting you. I'll come right back to you. Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar has just spoken to our political editor, Vasudha Venugopal. Let's just quickly play out that big exclusive for you right now after that press conference.
Facing rebellion of sorts, and MPs are asking for answers. Dr. Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar is here with me. Dr. Dastidar, what is happening inside the TMC, and why are the MPs now rebelling?
The MPs have been elected by the common man. But I, through the past election, have been observing the mentality of the voters who have voted against the ruling dispensation, and they have been washed out. I am of that party. So I realized that whatever feeling I had towards the unemployment, towards the cut money culture, towards the health sector, failure that time through the Arjikar issue, then towards the this agency recruitment, then also the educational recruitment. There are various issues. So we are trying to change our political character and trying to go with the people's verdict. The people have told us through their mandate that they don't support the government. So if they are not supporting the government which is run by my party, we will have to sit separately and work for the people. That is our decision.
Dr. Ghosh, TMC is basically saying that the chief whip is Kalyan Banerjee. How will you want to look at this issue?
Who said the Kalyan Banerjee is the chief whip? The Speaker's office has told us that he was suddenly decided to be the Chief Whip, and it has not been accepted with the Speaker. I was the Chief Whip since September 2025. So that is why after we came to know that I am the Chief Whip, I have signed as the Chief Whip.
And how many MPs are with this faction, ma'am?
We are 20 of us who have signed today.
And my last question to you, you have spent a long time with Mamata Banerjee. What is your answer to those people who feel that these MPs are being disloyal to the party?
I told you that if the people's mandate goes against the main party or her functioning style, we have to go with the mandate of the people. So if we want to go with the mandate, we will have to work separately, giving respect to the people's mandate.
And you're firmly with the NDA now?
We have requested to sit separately and work with the central and state government.
Okay, thank you. The TMC is facing...
So, Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar, someone who goes back a long way with Mamata Banerjee, leading this rebellion that basically rips 20 MPs out of Mamata's hand and hands it to the BJP-led NDA, which is in effect the arch enemy of the Trinamool Congress, is an unthinkable situation, but she puts it on the mandate of the people and she's listened to the mandate of the people. Tausif, you want to complete your point? You now have the context of what Kakoli Ghosh has just said.
Yes, she actually clarified that there are about 20 signatures on the paper, but I think the numbers will grow. Names like Shatrughan Sinha and Yusuf Pathan have been making rounds. There are other names too which have not come out of, which we have not heard of yet, but they will come out soon. Therefore, the names will go up, and this actually benefits BJP. They were more interested in breaking away the parliamentary party than the legislative party.
Okay.
So while Ms. Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar says that it is a mandate of the people, I partly don't agree with her, because Trinamool still had received, about 41% vote share they have, as against 45% vote share of BJP. Now, win or lose, we all know there could be several reasons, SIR being one of it. But the respect that Mamata Banerjee had, the control that she commanded, completely stands demolished. And this really raises a question mark where this party will go from here. Whether Mamata Banerjee will be able to lead this to a shape in the coming elections, whether she'll be able to put up candidates and get votes. There's a really big question mark around that.
What is she going to be left with is the question, because I think the question over whether the the Trinamool as we know it has ended, that ship seems to have sailed. And you've just heard the tone in Kakoli Ghosh Dastidar's voice as well. 3-term MP, as Shreyasi was telling us. So she knows what she's doing. It seems like she's done her homework as far as the engineering aspect of this rebellion is concerned. We'll have to see how it plays out. It's going to be a long night here in Delhi. Shreyasi will be holding fort in Kolkata and tracking all the developments there as well. This is a truly national political thriller that is now playing out. Thank you very much to all of you for being with me here tonight. Well, after former IPS officer Singham, as he was called, K. Annamalai left the BJP last Friday, many of his followers announced their resignation from the Tamil Nadu BJP and decided to join his volunteer movement, We the Leaders. Now, Annamalai has launched this movement, this mobilization, a website that has received over 1 million individual registrations in its first 24 hours. Now, the immense popularity and attention that Annamalai's movement is receiving leads to one big question. Is this a moment of political reset in Tamil Nadu, especially since Chief Minister Vijay's victory has rewritten the rules of electoral politics in the state? Is Tamil Nadu heading towards an Annamalai versus Vijay contest in a shift beyond Tamil Nadu's Dravidian duopoly till 2026? And what does his exit really mean for the BJP, given he was one of their most popular and known youth faces in the state? Today, I was joined by Tughlaq editor and Annamalai's mentor S. Gurumurthy, speaking out for the first time since Annamalai's exit. Days after popular former police officer and Tamil Nadu BJP chief K. Annamalai's dramatic exit from the BJP, one voice had refrained from speaking until the dust settled. A man who's been seen as perhaps Annamalai's most honest critic and advocate. Someone Annamalai himself said was a mentor of sorts, perhaps even a political guru. Tonight, editor of Tughlaq, S. Gurumurthy, joins me to speak about the dramatic exit of Annamalai from the BJP, why he thinks it happened, and more importantly, what may lie ahead. Mr. Gurumurthy, always good to have you first here on NDTV after the exit of Annamalai. So my first question to you, sir, will be, you have all often described Annamalai as a man in a hurry. In your view, sir, why did Annamalai quit the BJP?
See, of course, there is a complicated relationship because I'm his personal friend.
Yeah.
And he has been interacting with me very often. And he has shared his thoughts also with me. And in some sense, from the BJP also, people have spoken to me. So I have a complicated relationship, but I will speak the truth to the extent that it does not embarrass anyone. See, Annamalai has a very genuine purpose in Tamil Nadu politics. In fact, that is why he joined politics. He joined BJP. He opted for the BJP. In fact, he came and met me before he joined the BJP. And he expressed his intention to join the BJP. I said, that's your choice. I will never say anyone should join the BJP because that's not my business. But I broadly gave an idea that BJP is a teamwork. And so the kind of what I would call freedom one would have when it is one's own affair will not be there. This is the kind of indication I gave.
Yeah.
One good thing or one unique thing which has been missed by the media in Annamalai resigning from the BJP is that this is the only instance of a political leader leaving the party without saying one wrong word about the party.
Yeah.
And the party has also not said anything. You take the list of people right from Indira Gandhi days. Right in Tamil Nadu, whenever somebody has left the party, he has started abusing the party. And the party started abusing him. Even in BJP, whether it is Uma Bharati or Kalyan Singh or Yediyurappa, the partying was bitter. Here the partying has been something, it is more a kind of a distancing than really partying. I have commented on it in the Tughlaq editorial, which will appear tomorrow.
Yes.
It was a very unique party. He went and had a discussion, expressed his views, his apprehensions, his experiences, and nobody in Delhi uttered a word about him or against him.
Yeah.
This means what? You see, in politics, whenever a person leaves a party, it's a full stop. It is regarded as a full stop. But even this full stop turned into commas. The very persons who leave the party also join the party or ally with the party. But here, it is not a full stop, it's a comma. So there is an alignment of ideas.
Yeah.
Alignment of even the philosophy. He is a nationalist. Tamil Nadu is one state. In fact, every state is like that there is a regional aspiration. In fact, the Congress failed in appreciating regional aspirations. And that is why it failed in Tamil Nadu, in Karnataka, in Andhra, in Orissa, in Bengal. The Congress failed because it did not appreciate the regional aspirations.
Okay.
In Tamil Nadu, the regional aspirations have a much higher bite. So Annamalai feels that you have to address that. It may not be possible within the conspects of the overall national approach. Maybe he's right. So my view is that the relationship between BJP and Annamalai is not that which has been cut off.
Yeah.
So like I have expressly mentioned in the editorial. One great thing that is happening in Tamil Nadu, which I want to park for you to ask any question on that, is the only genuine political leader outside the cine ecosystem from which leaders are emerging in Tamil Nadu. Even the DMK as a party emerged out of cine.
Yeah.
Story writers, the songwriters, the actors, the directors, the producers, they're all DMK people. In fact, Harvard University did a study how cine field produced the DMK. DMK produced the ADMK. If you look at it, he is the only genuine, serious politician. All others, for them, politics is a manifestation of the popularity that they have gained elsewhere.
Yeah.
It was more a display of their popularity rather than a commitment to the nation, to Tamil Nadu, to Tamil values. It's all fake narrative in Tamil Nadu, which has been going on for the last 60 years. He's a genuine person.
Mr. Gurumurthy, you're saying something very interesting. You're saying it's not a full stop, it's a comma. I don't want to jump the gun and say, what does that mean? Will he return to the BJP? I understand what you're saying because there is no misalignment between the two. It was a very cordial parting of ways. It was almost a friendly sort of parting of ways. There was a lot of affection in how they did it. So my question to you is, do you endorse what he is trying to do? Because you also maybe somewhere believe that this is something that has the BJP's blessing as well?
I am not going as far as this to say it as BJP's blessings. Obviously, the BJP has no great objection to this, at least at the national level. Of course, at the local level, there will always be. So far as my views are concerned, that he requires to be encouraged. Because today you have a chief minister who is a non-serious politician. He doesn't know anything. He didn't prepare his party. He has brought in all the criminal elements into the party. Many of his ministers are criminals. They talk in such wrong languages. And the party is doing precisely the same thing which the DMK used to do. And it is all coming out. And he is in great problems. I only sympathize with him because he never intended to get into serious politics. In contrast, Annamalai says that he will start an institution for training the political workers. Yes, he is targeting 2031. He says he will start an institution in the name of Abdul Kalam. It's very, very important. People do not read deeply into it. Abdul Kalam is a great nationalist, I was involved in a way in seeing how he was chosen as the presidential candidate. In fact, the idea of Vajpayee was to offer to Muslims a nationalist alternative, nationalist icon in the place of Jinnah, in the place of Jinnah-like people, in the place of a Qaeda-Millit Ismail, who became an icon of Muslims in Tamil Nadu, who was a continuation of the partition politics. His choice of Abdul Kalam has not just iconic value, it is a qualitative shift. To connect Tamil Nadu to the idea of ancient India, Abdul Kalam aligns 60-70% with cultural nationalism. So he has chosen the right icon to train people, and he says the people trained will only be given seat. They will only be given position. How much he succeeds, that's a different thing. But that he has a very serious thought, which is a marked difference in Tamil Nadu politics after 60 years, is something which I want to encourage.
You're a good friend of his, Mr. Gurumurthy, and I know you will not betray your friend by revealing your private conversations, but I want you to share with us, what is Annamalai's mood right now? Is it one of anticipation? Is there some sadness in him, given that, some of the things that he wanted to happen in the BJP's relations with the AIDMK didn't go the way he wanted them to? What is his mood? And, you must have spoken to him also after his exit from the BJP. How would you read his mood, Annamalai's mood right now? What did he say to you?
He personally, because he is like an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
An entrepreneur is always very fast. But when an entrepreneur like CEO has to function under a promoter, then the promoter is always restrained. This is how I read Annamalai moved faster than the BJP. In fact, many people misunderstood me for this comment.
Yeah.
I actually looked at it that way. But in Annamalai's case, once he starts this process, he will himself find that it is not possible to move unless he has prepared an organization, that he has prepared Karyakartas. Of course, one good thing that happened is even when he left the BJP, he said that I am grateful to the BJP for having given me this opportunity. Normally, no one will say that.
True. Yeah.
He said that. And he acknowledged that gave him the lift that was needed, experience that was needed, connection that is needed, both at the top and at the bottom. Of course, he didn't say, but he meant it.
Yeah.
So, very large number of his Karyakartas will be having the BJP and Parivar orientation because they have personally connected to him.
Yes.
So my feeling is he starts with some kind of good social capital that will stand in good stead.
Yeah.
Because there is convergence of ideas. So my view is I want to encourage this because this is a new trend in Tamil Nadu politics. And he himself would not like a hostile relationship with either the BJP or certainly not with the Prime Minister or Amit Shah. He has personally thanked them and he has personally said that I have good relationship with both of them.
I want to ask you about some of the stances that Annamalai took, sir. First of all, where does this leave the BJP in Tamil Nadu? Not much of a footprint anyway, but we've seen many leaders sort of resign their posts and follow Annamalai in the wake of his exit from the BJP. One of the defining characteristics of Annamalai in the recent years was his adamant stance against the AIADMK. He refused to change his mind on that. Did you agree with that stance?
You see, it is not about the ADMK. It is about the leadership of ADMK. It is about Edappadi Palaniswamy.
Yeah.
He has been the limiting factor of ADMK. And in fact, he went to the extent of even trying to become chief minister with the help of DMK, which would have completely been the destruction of the ADMK's DNA. ADMK exists only to oppose the DMK.
Yeah.
If the DMK declines, the ADMK will also decline. But that man doesn't have the ADMK DNA. So naturally, he's not trusted in his own party. That's why people are leaving his party. So maybe Annamalai's judgment about Edappadi was right. It's not about ADMK.
Yeah, yeah.
It's about the leadership. Primarily, Edappadi's way of leading the party.
So was he
All lieutenants are now keeping away from him.
Was he vindicated in that sense, sir, given what's happening with the AIADMK under EPS right now? Would you say that, in some ways Annamalai was right about the EPS-led AIADMK? I mean, this was a leader, Mr. Gurumurthy, who you know better than most people. He had the youth, the media, the energy. Isn't losing someone like an Annamalai for the BJP a bigger thing than, what is happening right now with the AIADMK?
You see, basically the BJP did not look at 2026 like it looked at 2024. If the BJP had performed better in 2024, maybe they would have looked at 2026 differently. But actually, the analysis I made, I want to tell you in 2 minutes.
Yes.
There was a 20%, 18 to 20% anti-Dravidian votes, which existed in Tamil Nadu politics from 1973. And it popped out in 1989 when Congress contested against the divided ADMK and the DMK and got 20% votes by rejecting Mupanar as chief minister. In fact, Ramnath Goenka, myself and Cho Ramaswamy sat together. Cho said, I will support the Congress in January Tamil Nadu election. Afterwards, I will join you to oppose the Congress in Delhi. So we had an agreement also because he felt that it was the right time for the Congress to come out. 20% votes. The same 20% votes came out in 2014 when an alternative to both the Dravidian parties was presented. The same 20% votes came out in 2024 when an alternative was presented. But there is one hidden factor. You can look at the Election Commission website and the AI disclosures. After 1967 till 2024, there is a 10 to 12% voters in Tamil Nadu who disappeared from the election scene. They didn't want to even go to polling booth. They came out in 2026. So if you add that 10 to 12% votes, these 18 to 20% votes of anti-Dravidian parties, that is Vijay. This is the truth of Tamil Nadu politics.
Very interesting.
Where I'm right about it. Election Commission itself said that surprisingly 10 to 12% voters disappeared between 1967 and 2024. I am surprised the media has not noticed this. And 52 lakh additional voters voted in 2026. These 12% voters came out.
Amazing.
So because many people felt there is no use going with these two rotten parties, they came out. And they saw in Vijay a relief. So this is what constitutes, according to me, the election results in Tamil Nadu.
No, that's incredibly interesting, Mr. Gurumurthy. You know, these people who've come out, this 12% that's come out and, given Vijay this mandate in that case, do you think they will be enthused by an Annamalai as well? Because Annamalai has made it very clear that he will contest the next election in 2029 and in 2031. And many people are sort of simplifying it and saying that with the collapse of the AIADMK, with the DMK also being rejected, it might become a Vijay Annamalai kind of battlefield in Tamil Nadu.
See, I'll tell you, in Tamil Nadu, there is no ideological politics left. The idea that there is DMK with Dravidian ideology, Tamil, it's all fake. Is that there is an organization which is, of course, many people have got control over it. There is assert and these things like that. So the DMK is now, I wouldn't exactly call it a rump, but it is a very pale version of the DMK of the past, because I have fought the DMK in the street. That spirit, everything is gone. The ADMK is only the other side of the DMK. It wants to oppose the DMK. There is nothing like ideological politics. Vijay is an exception and Vijay is an accident in Tamil Nadu. There is nothing like people will vote, will die and vote for Vijay. These are all floating voters. Today, 9 out of 10 Tamil youth is not interested in politics. For them, the interest in politics is that, of course, the election is coming. Let us see who we vote for. This time, let us not, why not try? This is not the case. 9 out of 10 students, youth, will be committed to one party or the other in 1967, 70, 80, when I was in politics. The whole ideological premise of Tamil Nadu politics has collapsed. I would say most votes are floating votes.
Wow. Yeah.
So if a serious leader emerges, if a serious agenda is presented, and if he is clean and honest like Annamalai, I think he has a very good chance. I wouldn't dismiss. In fact, I would say DMK and ADMK both are declining parties. And Vijay is an accident. Vijay doesn't have an organization. If you see the kind of ministers he has, one person says, woman, I will go and kill you. He broke open the door, hit people, and he is the finance minister now. Another person said, if anybody opposes me, I'll finish him. He is a minister. These are the kind of people, because he doesn't even know whom he has selected. So this government will have a very serious problem. So I think Annamalai may emerge as a very stable pole in Tamil Nadu politics.
Final word from you, Mr. Gurumurthy, then is, where does this leave the BJP? You know, I come back to my first question then. The BJP didn't seem to have a choice in parting ways with Annamalai. You know, they tried to have a conversation with him, but you're saying it's not a full stop, it's a comma. So qualify that for us by telling us what lies ahead for the BJP then, without Annamalai in Tamil Nadu.
The BJP's Hindutva politics will increasingly find space in Tamil Nadu with the decline of the Dravidian parties. Annamalai will not take the Hindutva position, nor will he take the anti-Hindutva position. That will be the alignment between the two. BJP's ideological thrust will find increasing supporters, because the ADMK and DMK and now Vijay are all directly or indirectly anti-Hindu, anti-Hindutva. So they will all be ideologically one for the BJP to oppose. And they will be opposed by Annamalai on other counts.
Yeah.
Of course, his nationalism is not Hindutva nationalism, but its nationalism is not opposed to Hindutva nationalism. So my feeling is that both will work parallelly.
Yeah.
And the BJP will also be able to find its space. Don't dismiss the BJP, because that is the only real ideological alternative to both ADMK, DMK and also TVK.
The wake of
I
this,
the BJP.
This election is that nobody can be dismissed, but it's an exciting path ahead, and you've given us a lot to think about. And I particularly like how you take specific positions on what we are likely to see. That's what makes this entire political battlefield so fascinating. Mr. Gurumurthy, always a pleasure having you here on NDTV. Thanks for choosing to speak to us first. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Shiv. Thank you.
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
हिंदुस्तान मिले हिंदुस्तान से,
जय हो देश हो विदेश हो, जय के हो। देश का टायर, JK टायर।
Where the software engineer with a big idea meets the smart market analyst, meets the cool UI UX designer, meets the gifted content writer, meets the talented photographer to create the big dream. The world comes together at Sharda University. So where are you?
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा, मसाला।
Full of these people. Kolkata trap. The highest number of voters. Tamil Nadu votes decisive. अफरा-तफरी का माहौल है, हुदूदपुर पथराव किया गया है।
I've always liked NDTV. It's the most reliable news channel more than anything.
TVK headquarters here. Lot of thanks for NDTV. Congratulations to NDTV.
Thank the team for their incredible coverage of the Tamil Nadu election so far.
Fast moving, but still relaxed. Informative, but still unbiased.
So I really love the channel. I saw Shiv sir and I was really excited to meet him and tell hi. So I'm really happy I met you, sir. Thank you so much.
Happy meeting NDTV team here.
Thanks for NDTV.
Padmija Joshi. Sriyashi Dev.
This is Shreya Ghosh.
Rapandeep Chaudhary.
Manogya Loiwal.
Deepak Bopanov.
This is Victor.
Tanushka Datta.
Sam Daniel.
Tika Ramaswamy.
Ritu Rajpurohit.
Shiv Arun.
To all our viewers who've joined us, thank you very much for spending your time, for trusting NDTV.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground Not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
This is the show where we bring you all the hot and happenings from the world of entertainment and lifestyle.
Really?
Fashion that made you gag. Films that made you fangirl. Art that made it to the gram, and trends that kept us with the program. Hello and welcome to a brand new show. I am your host Mayank Chaudhary and this is Limelight.
Economy, business, world, technology. Noise filtered, numbers decoded. Insights that rewire your worldview. From governance to growth, we connect the dots. Your daily edge, your global advantage. India Business Report with me, Gauri Dwivedi, weeknights on NDTV Profit.
This is where the future shows up first. Conversations with the biggest names in tech and AI. Putting tech through its paces. No fancy jargon or spec sheets, just what matters. If it's shaping the future, you'll see it here first. The Tesla Model Y. This is Tech 360. Real talk, real reviews across the NDTV network.
हिंदुस्तान मिले हिंदुस्तान से
देश का टायर जेके टायर।
मीठा या नमकीन चाहे जैसे खाओ, 100% सूजी से बनी आर प्योर वर्मिसेली, स्वादिष्ट सेहतमंद हर रोज।
The results with the BJP winning more than 200 seats clearly answer those questions. Our teams on the ground, in the studios, in the newsroom, will keep tracking every twist. We try to stay away from the noise, try to use the election analytics to bring the coverage together for you. 90% voting is not common. That's 140 elections with less than 70%. Tuvendu Adhikari leading at this moment. 5 states, 824 assembly seats. An election that felt more like a war.
Again going to shift focus to West Bengal, bring in our colleagues from the ground as well.
We've got some breaking news just coming in. Kanchan Gupta to wear this morning. Green was not one of them. Kanchanda, what's going on here?
Khela ho be.
Vijay is finishing off every existing political force. This holds, Pradeep Gupta will be dancing. Joining us now, live and exclusive on NDTV, the architect of this historic victory.
जनता को बधाई दे रहा हूं.
To all our viewers who've joined us in this long day, thank you very much for spending your time, for trusting NDTV.
The situation in the Strait of Hormuz right
Yes.
now and Iran, the last 48 hours have been tense. Is there a sense that strikes are imminent?
Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. And so the issues of enrichment and the highly enriched uranium have to be confronted. The straits cannot continue to be closed.
The import of American oil is important for India, particularly because of the situation.
India wants to diversify its energy. We want to diversify the countries we export to.
There is also an issue of visas for Indians. They have to come back to India for green cards now. Why has America taken this decision?
Well, it's not about India, it's about the whole world. Anytime you reform a system, there's going to be some disruptions, there's going to be some hiccups.
How did the meeting with the Prime Minister go? What did you discuss?
Relationship between the President Trump and Prime Minister Modi. I think that always makes it easier to have these meetings because of the personal affinity they have to one another.
Thank you very much for
Thank you.
this
Thanks.
interview. Thank you
Thank you very much.
India Inc.'s most respected names chose India Inc.'s best and brightest.
I'm delighted to be chairing a committee of such distinguished fellow businessmen, bankers. It's just lovely to be back on this NDTV jury. I have been a fan of NDTV for a long time.
Many of the nominees are extremely close together in terms of what they've done.
Gender parity to be reflected while we choose leadership as well.
It's also important that how they are reshaping
welcome. You're watching Left, Right and Centre with me, Raisha Sehgal. On the show today, Iran has announced an end of military operations against Israel, but has warned Lebanon that the strikes could trigger escalation. Any strikes on Lebanon will lead to escalation in West Asia. We ask tonight, can diplomacy outrun missiles or will it lead to escalation? Let's start with that very top focus tonight on the show. Iran has conditionally halted its offensive military operations against Israel, and this is following an intense exchange of retaliatory strikes. The pause was announced by Iran's Unified Military Command, but it is contingent, it is conditional to one aspect, that Israel should end its ongoing military campaign against Hezbollah in southern Lebanon. Now, this comes after US President Donald Trump told Iran and Israel to stop shooting and said that the two countries were looking to do an immediate ceasefire. And he also asserted earlier today that despite both the sides exchanging fire, there will be a ceasefire, there will perhaps be a deal. Meanwhile, Israel has agreed to stop attacking Iran at Trump's request. A White House official also confirmed that Trump called Netanyahu to discuss the Iran-Israel exchanges of fire. However, there's been no confirmation on that very report yet. Let's now tell you more about all that has happened today after both the sides started exchanging fire after their April 8th truce. So what exactly happened in the last 24 hours? First up, Iran paused strikes on Israel earlier this evening. Apart from that, Tehran said that the strikes would resume if Israel continues to strike Lebanon. Iran also says will neither leave the field nor the negotiating table. And that's the warning that the Iranian president, Masoud Pezeshkian, gave earlier this evening. Apart from that, Trump has also said that Iran and Israel are looking for an immediate ceasefire. Reports further suggest that Trump told Bibi to hold off on any kind of retaliation. Trump urged Israel not to retaliate back to Iran. Meanwhile, Israel has clearly warned of Beirut strikes. Israel says that we will attack Lebanon if attacks on northern Israel continue at this point of time. Let's also now tell you how, with both the sides attacking each other, it's perhaps Lebanon which has emerged as the flashpoint because Israel launched strikes on Beirut. Israel has been continuously attacking Beirut. It's the Hezbollah proxy that Israel is attacking. Israel says that we are targeting Hezbollah infrastructure in Lebanon. Iran, on the other hand, has said that attacks on Lebanon is a breach of all red lines. Remember, Iran has been adamant on saying that any kind of ceasefire between Israel, Iran and the US will consist of a complete ceasefire in Lebanon as well. Meanwhile, IRGC responded with missiles at Israel as well, and Hezbollah so far has rejected any kind of Lebanon ceasefire. Iran has said that the ceasefire will depend on Israel completely halting attacks on Lebanon. All right, we have our experts joining us. We have with us Saul Sadka. He's an author from Israel. Welcome to NDTV, Mr. Sadka. We also have Mohammad Khatibi, who's a journalist from Iran. I want to first come to you, Mr. Sadka. At this point of time, Iran has said that we are stopping any kind of attacks until unless there is no attacks by Israel on Lebanon. But we do know that Hezbollah continues to attack northern Israel as we speak. Do you think this is just a halt in the hostilities, or are we looking at a complete cessation of hostilities, Mr. Sadka?
Well, certainly it's paramount for the Israelis at this point. They don't want any kind of union between the situation in Lebanon and the situation in Iran. What the Iranians did over 25 years was to try and build up some proxy armies on Israel's borders and then use them to control Israel via those proxy armies. Over the past 2.5 years, Israel has largely dismantled those proxy armies, although relics of Hamas and Hezbollah do remain, and they are being dealt with as we speak. The tragedy, of course, of Lebanon is Lebanon was once one of the most wealthy countries in the Middle East, and it's been reduced to penury by Iranian interference, who have taken control via the Shia minority in Iran and largely destroyed that country. It's destroyed their economy, and it's made it the third least happy place in the world to live after only Afghanistan and Lebanon. And that can totally change because across the border, they have the Israelis who are absolutely happy to make peace with them. There's no particular beef between the Israelis and the Lebanese, and no doubt at some point soon there will be peace. It's quite clear that the leaders of the parliament and the president of Iran very much want peace with the Israelis. However, they do have a problem in that the Hezbollah army that remains there, even though they can't significantly hurt Israel, they're far too weak for that. They've lost so many levels of their leadership. They've lost perhaps 10,000 men to death and serious injury over the past 2.5 years of fighting. So they totally failed in their attempt to destroy Israel, and now they are on the verge of destruction, but it's going to require some more fighting, most likely, unless they're willing to hand over their weapons. And very sadly, as we see in Iran, it's very unlikely to happen because they have millenarian beliefs about the end of the world, and surrender.
All right, Mr. Sadka. Right, we got your viewpoint. I want to go across to Mr. Khatibi as well. He's a journalist from Iran. Like Mr. Sadka said, that Israel and Lebanon are at crossroads because of the Hezbollah proxy there in Lebanon. The strikes which we saw today, the last time the truce happened was on April 8th. It happened after 2 months. My question to you is that did Iran have to strike Israel? Because Iran clearly said that we are striking Israel because of Israel's continuous attacks against the Hezbollah proxy in Lebanon.
So before answering your question, I would like to raise some questions to our esteemed guest. So Israel is occupying southern parts of Lebanon, and it has been continued for decades, since 1982. And Israel has carried out operations there for many years. And this is not just because of the Hezbollah. This is because of the Israel's expansionist policies. Just remember, after the fall of Assad in Syria, Israel continued targeting Syria, and it occupied some parts of the Golan Heights even further. So the guest is talking about Hezbollah being Iran's proxy, but why don't he talk about how Israel is targeting residential areas in southern suburbs of Beirut? Why does not he talk about Israeli occupation of southern Lebanon and continuing to target Lebanon, even there was ceasefire between Iran and the United States, and Iran stopped targeting Israel? Iran had made it clear that if there is ongoing strikes on Lebanon, it will start targeting Israel, and it did that.
All right, Mr. Khatibi, I get your point there. I just want to take a follow-up on that, then I'll go to Mr. Sadka as well. Are you saying that to defend Hezbollah and the Houthis, Iran will continue striking Israel?
So this is kind of a new equation that Iran wants to make, and it
with its axis of resistance, yes?
Yes, this is a new way that Iran is trying to implement, and that is if the allies are being targeted, Israel and the United States might be targeted. So this is a new equation, and Iran wants the war to be stopped in all fronts. Israel is trying to torpedo the agreement between the United States and Iran.
All right, Mr. Khatibi, I'm running out of time. I have to give time to Mr. Sadka as well. Mr. Sadka, clearly, Israel went ahead and it struck southern Lebanon despite US's warning against it. At this point of time, how do you see the situation panning out? Because we also heard that rift between Bibi and Trump.
Yes, my assumption has been for a while that all the disagreements you see in public between Netanyahu and Trump are mostly fake. And the main reason they're doing them is every time that happens, you'll see the next day there'll be an attack from America and Israel. The general plan is always to keep the IRGC guessing. Iran is currently occupied by a terror regime called the IRGC that has persecuted their people for 47 years, and only this year has killed 40,000 of their own civilians. The devastation they've also wrought in Lebanon is terrible, and Israel currently is clearing up the mess there and is helping the Lebanese people get control of their territory. However, the Iranian people themselves are going to have to rise up against the people that have been ruling them with an iron fist under extremist Islamic law for 47 years. But one day that will happen, but that's not Israel's obligation. Israel does, however, have the obligation under...
All right, last word from Mr. Khatibi. And my question to you is just that, do you think this is an end to the hostilities, or are we just on the brink of another war?
Iran wants peace, and it has already signaled it, but it is Israel which is trying to torpedo the agreement between Iran and the United States. The other guest is talking about Iran killing civilians inside the country, but why don't he talk about around 73,000 Gazans who have been killed during the 2 or more years of fighting and aggression against Gaza? Why doesn't not he talk about Israeli invasions in occupied West Bank?
All right, Mr. Khatibi and Mr. Sadka, we'll come back to you shortly. Please stay with us. We'll just tell our viewers more about all that has happened today. And this is Israel's strike on Iran's energy infrastructure, which has marked a fresh escalation in the ongoing conflict. Visuals now show a massive plume of smoke rising from a petrochemical facility in Mazahar, a key industrial hub in southwestern Iran. According to reports, the site was hit in an Israeli attack. Remember, Mazahar is home to several major petrochemical installations and also plays an important role in Iran's energy sector as well. Let's tell you more about all the strikes on Iran industrial sites so far, that since the war began in February this year. First up, March 31st, the Tawfiqu Daru Research and Engineering Factory came under attack. These are all the important Iranian sites which have been attacked by Israel so far. Then on March 30th, Tabriz Petrochemical Facility. March 27th, Khuzestan Steel and Avaz. On March 8th as well, Desaha Oil Depot. March 7th, Saharan Oil Depot. March 8th, Tehran Oil Refinery. And one of the most important refineries which came under attack of Iran is, of course, the South Pass gas field, which was attacked by Israel on March 18th. And the latest on June 8th, that just today, the Mashahar petrochemical plant, which Israel has attacked in Iran. So in the past few months, a slew of very important energy sites, petrochemical hubs, which Israel has continued to attack in Iran. And earlier today as well, the IRGC claimed to attack the Haifa port back in Israel, but there's been no confirmation on that. I want to go back to our guests, Mr. Saul Sadka, an author from Israel, and we also have with us Mohammad Khatibi, a journalist from Iran. Mr. Sadka, with tit-for-tat strikes by both the sides, blame game going on, with Lebanon as the flashpoint at this point of time, and Trump's role as well, do you think that this is a quagmire situation that all of us are in, and do you see an escalation, or do you think this is just a brief pause?
I think absolutely it does have the potential to become more of a quagmire. The Iranian regime for 47 years had really one plan, a last plan to protect themselves. If they weren't going to be able to build a nuclear program, that's largely been destroyed. That's no longer really a threat anymore. And they've lost most of their missiles and most of their drones. But nevertheless, they still do have the ability to keep the Straits of Hormuz closed, or closed enough that regular shipping isn't willing to take the risk to go through. Now, as long as that continues, that creates a huge economic burden for a number of countries, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Iran itself. Because, of course, Iran is the primary beneficiary of the Strait of Hormuz, and that is currently blockaded. And they need that strait open, otherwise they literally can't feed their people. Their economy is in an absolute shambles. Their currency is currently worth $2 million to $1 and continues to descend into chaos. So gradually their economy flounders. At some point, they will likely become unable to pay the members of the IRGC that protect the regime, those same shock troops that they brought out onto the street to shoot 40,000 protesters in the head in January.
All right.
And if that happens, the regime will likely teeter. When that will happen, it might be months, it might be years. But at some point it will happen. In the meantime, the nations around them are building bypasses to avoid being dependent on the Straits of Hormuz. That will come into effect within a year. And gradually, this will all become rather irrelevant. Their plan was to get the price of oil above $200. They could barely get it above $100. And that really is the reason why they've lost this war.
So you do feel that this is a quagmire situation which will only perhaps escalate further. I want to take that question to you as well, Mr. Khatibi. Your viewpoint as to where is this war headed to at this point of time? Because we heard the Iranian President Masoud Pezeshkian coming out earlier today, and he clearly said that Iran will neither leave the field nor will it leave diplomacy. So where do you see the situation moving forward?
So this war was preventable, and Israel and United States started it because of the expansionist policies of Israel, and the United States accepted to attack Iran because the administration in US has put Israel first. The global economy took the shocks because of the Israeli expansionist policies. Iran has not completely closed the Strait of Hormuz, as so many people are claiming. Iran has allowed allied ships and the ships that are not hostile.
No, Iran has also asked for
Iran
tolls.
is still trying to reach a deal. However, it is Israel that is torpedoing that agreement between Iran and the United States. So blaming Iran for all the mess is completely nonsense, because it was Israel and the United States who launched a war.
Mr. Khatibi, I'm not asking you to put the blame. I'm not asking you to put the blame. I'm rather asking you, do you see the situation escalating or perhaps coming to an end? It is Iran who has said that the Strait of Hormuz will remain blocked, and number two, the uranium enrichment, which is also the two contentious issue because of which there is no deal yet.
It completely depends on the United States, because the war was preventable, and it is right now dependent on the Trump administration. As long as the US administration keeps demanding and keeps its maximalist demands, there will be no negotiations or any deal. However, if Trump recognizes Iran's right to peaceful nuclear program under the NPT.
But that is Iran's rights of having at least 60 kg.
And
Iran's right of having 60 kg enriched
Israel
uranium.
is not part of the NPT, and the United States is playing double standards by keeping a lid on the Israeli nuclear program and threatening Iran over having a peaceful nuclear program. So Iran wants a deal, and it has time and again shown that.
Mr. Khatibi, you say a peaceful nuclear program, but you don't allow the IAEA to intervene in your country. I just want to take the last question with you. You say a peaceful nuclear program because the nuclear enrichment is, of course, a point of contention. That's why there's been no deal. But your country does not allow IAEA to have any kind of free probe or negotiation to be done in Iran. Why is that?
Why that happened? Why that happened? Because Israel and the United States bombed Iran's nuclear facilities. And if you ask me, the reason that Iran enriched 60% of uranium is not because Iran is pursuing a bomb. It is because during first term of Trump, he withdrew from the JCPOA.
2015. All right, Mr. Khatibi, I'll have to give time.
Which helped diplomacy.
I'll have to give time to Mr. Sadka as well. Mr. Sadka, your last few points. Where do you see the situation escalating? Do you think it's just a pause, or will diplomacy prevail?
I think this is just a pause. My guess is that unless there's a deal that's done where Iran hands over the uranium, which Trump has made very clear is his red line personally, that's what he needs to be able to present it to the American public as a victory and walk away. That's also completely enough for Israel. The Israeli goal here is to ensure that the Iranians don't have a nuclear program. The Israelis do not need the IRGC to collapse, although most likely it will. And because they're extremely unpopular, 90% of their public do not support them and absolutely hate the ideas that are being put out by your guest here as a representative of the IRGC. They are absolutely loathed by 90% of the population. As a result, the regime inevitably will collapse. The only way they were going to save themselves from collapse was by building a nuclear bomb and becoming North Korea, but that won't happen for them.
All right, I just want to take one last question to you, Mr. Sadka. Do you think there's growing pressure on your Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, due to which he is under pressure to attack perhaps Iran or even Hezbollah in Lebanon, despite Trump warning against it?
Well, look, Netanyahu is very clear that he will do whatever it takes to protect the Israeli people. The Israeli military will do the same. If people stand against Israel, if they say death to Israel, death to America, then they will face the consequences of those actions. If you try to build a nuclear weapon and say death to that country is liable to attack you, and that's what Iran has found out.
I'm afraid we're running out of time. Thanks very much, Mr. Khatibi and Mr. Sadka, for sharing your insights and your viewpoint on this. Meanwhile, Iran has halted attacks on Israel with a Lebanon warning. Let's now take a look at how the Gulf War escalated again and what all happened in the last 24 hours.
Just hours after fears of a wider regional war intensified, a fragile opening for de-escalation has emerged in West Asia. Iran says it will halt strikes on Israel, but only if the latter stops attacking. Even as diplomatic messages fly, fresh threats and military action suggest the region remains dangerously close to another escalation. Monday marked Israel and Iran's most serious direct confrontation since April. Iran's top military command says any continued Israeli strikes, particularly against targets linked to its ally Hezbollah, will trigger what it calls a more severe response.
آمریکای جنایتکار و رژیم ددمنش صهیونیستی باید بدانند ایران قوی و سرافراز و نیروهای مقاومت افتخار آفرین در منطقه.
Amid the escalating crisis, US President Donald Trump stepped in with a public appeal. Stop shooting, Trump urged both sides, saying Iran and Israel appear to be moving toward an immediate ceasefire. The crisis extends far beyond Israel and Iran. From Gaza to Lebanon, multiple conflicts continue to fuel instability across the region. As diplomatic efforts intensify, one reality remains unchanged. There is still no clear sign that the turmoil is easing. Bureau Report for NDTV World.
On that note, we slip into a very short break. Come right back. News Night coming up next with me, Raisha Sehgal.
हिंदुस्तान मिले हिंदुस्तान से
देश का टायर जेके टायर
Where the software engineer with a big idea meets the smart market analyst, meets the cool UI UX designer, meets the gifted content writer, meets the talented photographer to create the big dream. The world comes together at Sharda University. So where are you?
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा सबका राजा और प्योर मसाला।
From the newsroom to the studio to the thick of political action.
You're watching NDTV 24/7. The hope is that beyond this election, this will be one of the major issues. With multiple challengers in the fray, the TMC also has done a bit of rejigging. Remember, this is also a district that has been plagued by communal violence. Come to some of the sabhas that the BJP is also organizing, especially in the villages of West Bengal.
When stories have impact,
Mamata Banerjee, managing editor and primetime anchor.
then news has influence. The buck stops here with Padmaja Joshi.
Your work is being watched by people. You think that you're making an impact in this time. I think that's really a huge validation, very rewarding, and I'm pretty certain that Team NDTV will go from strength to strength.
Hi, Red, check the audio. Hi, Red, check the audio. Let's do it. Let's start. Big news that we're breaking first here on NDTV.
We know for sure that they have, confirmed their support to him.
We've got a picture of the letter. The breaking story, we're jumping straight into it.
They do not want to be part of an experiment.
Show around and then come to me. At the Nehru Stadium in Chennai. Unconditional support.
Giant killer of TVK is here with us.
We've got Mr. Dinakaran with us here. Veera, why aren't you also dancing?
Vijay is coming out, TVK chief.
Big breaking story here on NDTV. Nobody else has these details. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the viewership. Thank you for the love.
When others are warming up, I'm raring to go. The stories that matter, the stories that shape your life.
Hello and welcome to watching Prime 5 with me, Raisha Sehgal. What's at stake? How to...
The show that sets the prime time agenda.
We'll be deep diving into this topic to tell you what's at stake.
Join me, Raisha Sehgal, on Prime 5, only on NDTV 24/7.
Across the country, he has tracked the pulse of power from Washington to Korea. Witnessed history being made in global capitals and conflict zones. Brought clarity to complex issues of national security and international affairs. Aditya Raj Kaul, covering international affairs like no one else. Only on NDTV network.
Our pure Shahi Paneer Masala. Delicious, healthy, every day.
Straight from the heart of the newsroom to the core of the stories shaping your world. Join me, Gargi Raut, as I track all the developments as they break. Live from the NDTV newsroom, weekdays at 4 p.m.
India's unshakable news habit. NDTV.com is India's #1 English news website.
Navnidhi Sharma, the father of Twisha, joins me one-on-one for the first time.
शुरू में ही देखने को मिल गया था कि क्रिमिनल माइंडसेट है। भेड़िए ने बकरी की खाल में शिकार किया है सर। They are chameleon people.
A brother, Major Harshit, speaks out for the first time on national television.
We have been fighting non-stop. We are not stopping until the justice is served.
Missing, where is your son? Let me ask you that pointed question.
He is ready to face all the questions, but he has to exhaust his legal remedies.
Breaking news coming in. Samarth Singh has finally surrendered. These are fresh visuals coming on your screen. First on NDTV. NDTV is the only network in the country that is relentlessly chasing this case.
Joining us live now for the first time is Mrigendra Singh, senior advocate, appearing for Samarth Singh.
The girl has gone because of the pressure created by her own parents.
These are difficult circumstances, but the hard questions still need to be asked. आपने तो दीदी को एकदम धो डाला।
इसमें जनता का जीत है, मोदी जी का जीत है।
आज के की खाबेन झालमुड़ी ना माछेर झोल।
How will you celebrate?
झालमुड़ी माछेर झोल with रसगुल्ला।
You know, you remember you promised me that you will come to Kabini and do an interview with me. You like going to the forest?
This is a declaration of our state that to the entire country that our Kerala is secular.
ये विजय बंगाल की जनता के विशेष करके मातृशक्ति की।
One clip that went most viral was the non-interview. Cruz spent some time with him. We have these whistles out for you, and the whistles are for the fact that you got the poll right, which is quite fantastic. We saw you campaigning, ma'am, for the RG Kaur victim's mother as well. You know, that was a telling moment. Do you believe that that incident in some ways was a tipping point?
I think that was not the only incident.
তবে পরাণ খুলে তুই মুখ ফুটে তোর মনের কথা একলা বলো রে যদি তোর ডাক শুনে কেউ না আসে তবে একলা চলো রে
The front lines of Kargil. The fury of Operation Sindhu.
So many attacks.
The chaos and cries of disaster zones. To fighter jet cockpits. And the world's most defining interviews.
It's incredible.
He has seen history break. Live. Unfiltered. 20,000 hours of live broadcasting.
Welcome to Left, Right and Center.
Hard facts.
War-struck country.
Hard questions.
In the Ukraine.
30 years of trust.
In the Kargil area. North Ukraine. In France. In Italy. At Srinagar. Vishnu Shom for NDTV.
Vishnu Shom. Only on NDTV.
5 hours to go for all of DKS's dreams to come true. I'm going to try and get more into the crowds. Here are the pictures, Siddaramaiah. NDTV stands completely engaged with Karnataka.
Higher rate, check the audio. Higher rate, check the audio.
Let's do it. Let's start.
Breaking story, we're jumping straight into it.
We've got a picture of the letter. What is in your letter? You can never predict what's going to happen in Tamil Nadu politics.
21 days in Kashmir. Unfiltered list of things I saw and observed on the ground.
Very special ground report from the line of control. There were some children who've lost limbs in the shelling.
For a country that has fought so many wars in the mountains and at high altitude.
We're standing on the Indian Navy's newest warship.
The line of control, Shiv Arur, NDTV.
Launch control, 0 to 100.
This isn't just about cars and bikes, this is about how you move. This car makes no sense, yet it makes every sense. What we are sitting inside is a Joby-powered air taxi. Your friend said, ye le le. We said, maybe not. Hi, my name is Siddharth Sharma. I'm your NDTV Automate, your ultimate guide into the world of automobiles and mobility.
Landed in the beautiful state of Andhra Pradesh, which has no shortage of its own superstars. And that's why it's our pleasure to be joined today on NDTV by Pawan Kalyan, the Deputy Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh. Good to have you, sir. You were recently denied permission, sir, on Telangana Formation Day.
I think somehow they're scared. Otherwise, there is no need for them to deny permission.
Is the India Bloc, up on its last legs?
I had seen in my family, they were very strong supporters of Congress. As long Indira Gandhi was, even to an extent Rajiv Gandhi was there, they could slowly, but the disconnect started because of their policies. I really expected some kind of a greater understanding when this man, Mr. Rahul Gandhi, if I go and meet people, that gives me a very entire greater understanding, greater depth. But I felt after walking from Kanyakumari to Kashmir, and the way he understood, then I said he has become more shallow.
It was genuine.
Hello and welcome. You're watching News Night with me, Raisha Sehgal. Our top focus tonight. Within a week of going live, users have posted hundreds of challenges, with some offering rewards worth tens of thousands of dollars. This task app has sparked a massive controversy and concern. We tell you about that on our show tonight. But before that, the headlines. TMC turmoil reaches Parliament. Over 20 Lok Sabha MPs rebel make Kakoli Ghosh their chief whip. Rebels to back NDA. Crisis deepens amid Mamata's Delhi visit as Bengal's CM meets unhappy MPs. INDIA Bloc brainstorm in national capital. NDTV gets inside details. Rahul Gandhi flags lack of support from allies. SP calls for engagement with AAP and DMK. Mamata seeks support amid TMC implosion. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Vijay surprises Grandmaster Pragnananda with a chess game and a ₹50 lakh check at the Secretariat. Pragnananda made history in Oslo by becoming the first Indian to win the prestigious Norway chess title. Iran and Israel exchanged missiles earlier in the day, but Iran has now halted strikes on Israel. In a rare visit, Chinese President Xi Jinping lands in Pyongyang. Xi's first visit to North Korea in 7 years, says China-North Korea ties stand at new historical starting point. What if you could pay someone to do anything through an online platform, like anything, from asking them to kill themselves, to telling them to get a bizarre tattoo, or just telling them to do a reckless public stunt? The script seems like the start of another Black Mirror episode, except this is the reality now. Pump.fun, the platform best known for letting anyone spin up a meme coin on Solana, has launched Go. It's a bounty marketplace that lets users pay people to perform essentially any task they can dream of. The mechanics of the operation are straightforward. Number one, users post a task and lock Solana cryptocurrency rewards into escrow with a minimum payout of roughly $5. And then they wait for someone to complete it. Submissions are then reviewed and approved by Pump.fun's team before funds are released. So what exactly is the whole controversy about? What is the bounty work controversy? Let's now tell you about that. So what basically happens is, first up, Indian user took up online cash challenge. They tattooed bounty work on his forehead. And as you can see, that tattoo on this man's forehead, for how much? For $2,400. They then submitted video proof of completion. Then payout stalled over an alleged typo. This man's name is Arivu. He claimed he followed the instructions completely, but there was a typo on the spelling, as you can see on his forehead, and this dispute went viral online. Traders then launched a bounty work meme coin. Token surge earned Indian users thousands of rupees. Let's now tell you about all the controversial tasks that has come under this app. Number one, suicide-linked task, and the price is pegged at $690,000. Apart from that, targeting victim's family, price $24,584. Forehead crypto tattoos like that Indian man did, it's priced at $2,650. World Cup skydiving stunt pegged at $57,000. Moving on to other news at this point of time. US President Donald Trump's high-voltage interview has ended in chaos. A fiery television interview ended abruptly when Donald Trump walked out mid-conversation after a heated exchange with the interviewer. Tensions escalated as Trump accused the network of bias and went further, calling the anchor stupid. Take a look.
Listen to me.
Let's talk
There's
about Todd
tremendous evidence. There's nothing
Well,
but evidence. The election was rigged. It was a dirty election.
Mr.
And it's
President,
happening again right now in California.
You've never presented evidence.
It's happening
that the
right now in California.
Rigged.
Right now, it's look at what's happening in California.
Where's the evidence to that?
It's
the
4
Republicans
days.
are doing well in
California. It's no, they're not. They're dropping fast because it's a rigged election. Let me tell you, it's 4 days, and they aren't even close to coming up with.
That's how they count.
You know why they're doing that? Because they're cheating on the election.
Do you have evidence to support
all
that?
I have to do is what happens.
But sir, that's not evidence.
Do you think it's appropriate?
That's how they count the votes in California.
Do you think it's appropriate that they have an election and 5 days later they're nowhere close to picking a winner?
State and local officials acknowledge they are slow.
Your elections are crooked, and you're crooked, and Meet the Press is crooked, and so is ABC and CBS and CNN.
But Mr. President,
you're one-sided crooked networks. All right, let's call it quits because I've had enough. Thank you, darling. Have a good time.
Mr. President, let's please. I traveled all the way to Wisconsin.
I've sat in the rain with you.
I know.
I've sat in the rain with you for an hour,
Wisconsin.
on and off in the rain, and I've given you enough time. You ought to straighten out your press because you know what?
Mr.
A country can never be great with a dishonest
Listen,
press.
we traveled all the way to Wisconsin for this interview.
All right. Now the news. Fox News makes some explosive claims about H-1B visas, fraud and foreign workers, but how much of it stands up to scrutiny? In this report, we take a closer look at the numbers, the sources behind the claims, and what the official data actually says.
Fox report, it claimed that nearly 7 million H-1B visas have been processed over the last decade, painting a picture of an unchecked sort of a flood of foreign labor. But immigration analysts in the US say that the number is a mathematical illusion, you see. By law, Congress strictly caps the number of new H-1B visas at just 85,000 per year. 65,000 for bachelor's degrees and 20,000 for advanced US degrees. To reach that scary 7 million headline, now Fox artificially bundles together routine 3-year visa renewals, existing workers transferring from one American company to another, and also cap-exempt university researchers. The actual number of new high-tech workers entering the country each year, well, it remains heavily restricted, unlike what Fox News claimed. Then comes the most explosive claim, viewers, that 80 to 90% of these applicants are allegedly outright fabrications. Now, the segment presents this as a damning current government statistics. In reality, however, it is a 20-year-old personal anecdote. Now, the figure comes from one single former diplomat named Mahavesh Siddiqui, recalling her time adjudicating visas at one US consulate in Chennai. That was between 2005 and 2007, more than 20 years ago. While a local task force did uncover localized fraud rings 2 decades ago, applying a 20-year-old memory to today's heavily digitized, biometric and highly audited selection process is just a massive logical leap designed for maximum shock value. Now, to back up the fraud narrative, the report further highlights a massive underground network selling allegedly 36,000 fake degrees and $1,400 each. Now, this weaponizes a completely unrelated, old domestic scandal back in India. This points directly to the Manav Bharati University investigation busted by Indian authorities back in 2021, 5 years ago. Those counterfeit creds were sold for local jobs or regional labor visas in Southeast Asia, not in the US. They couldn't bypass the US system. To secure an H-1B visa, an applicant's degree must pass a rigid, independent US credential evaluation. In fact, the vast majority of Indian H-1B recipient viewers, they graduate from premier global institutions like the Indian Institutes of Technology, or they hold master's degrees earned right here from accredited American universities. Finally, Fox claims that 83% of these Indian workers are occupying entry-level positions. It argues that they aren't actually highly skilled. This intentionally mischaracterizes standard US Department of Labor definitions. You see, according to the official DHS federal rulemaking data, only 28% of H-1B petition receipts, they fall under wage level 1, which is entry level. The vast majority, meanwhile, of 55%, they fall under wage level 2. It represents qualified, experienced professionals. Now, Fox took standard mid-career corporate hiring data and, well, it spun it into a narrative of an unskilled workforce.
Moving on to other news, Chinese President Xi Jinping is on an official visit to North Korea from June 8th to 9th. The visit is a first since 2019 and is expected to enhance collaboration across multiple sectors. The next report telling you more about the Chinese president's visit to North Korea and what is on the agenda.
Two of the world's most secretive and authoritarian states are drawing closer than they have in years. Chinese President Xi Jinping's rare visit to North Korea is sending a clear message to the United States and its allies. Beijing and Pyongyang are closing ranks amid growing geopolitical tensions. A red carpet, a 21-gun salute, and a welcome reserved for only the closest of allies. The visit marked a major diplomatic moment for the two neighbors. The symbolism could not be clearer. Standing side by side, the leaders pledged unwavering support for each other. For Beijing, North Korea remains a crucial buffer against American influence in East Asia. For Kim Jong-un, China remains the economic lifeline that helps keep his isolated regime afloat. But there is another factor driving this renewed embrace. Pyongyang's growing military partnership with Russia has raised concerns in Beijing that it could drift too far from China's orbit. Xi's visit is widely seen as an effort to reassert China's influence over its unpredictable neighbor. The summit comes even as North Korea doubles down on its nuclear ambitions, insisting its status as a nuclear power is non-negotiable and vowing to expand its arsenal further. As global rivalries intensify, Beijing and Pyongyang appear determined to stand together, signaling that their decades-old alliance is far from fading. Bureau Report, NDTV World.
Meanwhile, at a Sikh religious procession in Brampton, a tableau depicting the assassination of former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi was put on display alongside Khalistan flag, triggering outrage. Our next report telling you more about this anti-India rally and all the controversy.
A religious procession now at the center of a political storm. At the annual Nagar Kirtan parade in Brampton, Canada, participants were seen carrying Khalistan flags. That's not all, as a controversial tableau depicting the 1984 assassination of former Indian Prime Minister Indira Gandhi rolled through the streets. The display immediately drew condemnation across social media and political circles. The imagery touches one of the most painful chapters in India's modern history. Indira Gandhi was assassinated on October 31st, 1984, by two of her Sikh bodyguards months after Operation Blue Star. The appearance of the assassination tableau can intensify diplomatic sensitivities between New Delhi and Ottawa. Similar displays in Canada in previous years have drawn sharp criticism from India. India-Canada ties have improved swiftly ever since PM Mark Carney was sworn in. A far cry from former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau's days in office, during which his government was accused by India of giving space to Sikh separatists, terrorists and anti-India elements. But with these tableaus still being shown right under the nose of the Carney government, questions still swirl about the alleged lack of action from Ottawa. Bureau Report, NDTV World.
Well, World Cup fever is at its peak, from giant human waves in Mexico to juggling record attempts in the US, and even a Viking-themed send-off from Norway as teams head to the tournament. Take a look.
Football fans fill the streets in Mexico to rehearse and perform a huge human wave, an attempt to set a new Guinness World Record outside a stadium. Music, dance and traditional indigenous makeup set the scene as supporters celebrated the World Cup coming to North America.
Hay que estar en estos momentos que aunque sean muy sencillos, pero demuestran mucho para nuestro mismo país y para toda la gente internacional. Que sepan que México tiene un gran corazón y con gusto los vamos a recibir a todos. Y en este mundial, pues todos son bienvenidos, van a ser bien recibidos en este país.
The event doubled as a welcome for visiting fans and a showcase of Mexico's hospitality and culture. Part festival, part record bid. Local organizers say that the crowd may have set a new mark, though Guinness has yet to confirm it. Meanwhile, in Georgia, soccer fans joined thousands around the world for a different sort of record: simultaneous juggling. Over 40 cities took part in the coordinated attempt to beat the most people juggling a soccer ball at once. The target? 20,000 jugglers globally would eclipse the 2018 mark from Poland.
Well, there are more than 40 locations around the globe that are participating in this world record attempt. So there are going to be lots of people, out there juggling, making sure that they're a part of this historic moment.
Norway's national team posed for a striking pre-World Cup photo shoot. Decked out as Vikings in a shoot titled "The Vikings Are Coming," the squad celebrated its return to the Men's World Cup for the first time since 1998. With 48 teams and 104 matches set to kick off across the United States, Mexico and Canada, fans and nations are finding playful and proud ways to mark the moment, and the party is only just beginning. Bureau Report, NDTV World.
And now we'll bring to you two brave sons of India, two stories, of extraordinary courage and one shared legacy of supreme sacrifice. Martyr Lieutenant Shashank Tiwari and Martyr Sepoy Janjal Praveen Prabhakar, they were posthumously awarded the Kirti Chakra for their exceptional bravery and selfless service to the nation. As the nation honoured its heroes, the ceremonies turned deeply emotional. Lieutenant Tiwari's mother broke down in tears while receiving the award on behalf of her son, while Sepoy Prabhakar's mother and wife struggled to hold back their emotions as they accepted the honour. Their tears spoke of an immeasurable loss, a family sacrifice, and the price paid by those who stand guard for the nation. Even in grief, they stood tall, carrying forward the legacy of courage left behind by their loved ones. We leave you with this as we slip into a very short break.
लेफ्टिनेंट शशांक तिवारी ने 22 मई 2025 को गश्त के दौरान उनका एक अग्निवीर स्टीफन सुब्बा संतुलन बिगड़ने से नदी में जा गिरा। इस युवा अधिकारी ने अपनी जान की परवाह न करते हुए तुरंत नदी में छलांग लगा दी और घायल होने के बावजूद अपने साथी को सुरक्षित किनारे तक धकेला, लेकिन तीव्र प्रवाह एवं गंभीर चोटों के कारण वो स्वयं को न बचा पाए। लेफ्टिनेंट शशांक तिवारी को मरणोपरांत कीर्ति चक्र से अलंकृत किया जाता है। सिपाही जनरल प्रवीण प्रभाकर कश्मीर घाटी में चलाए गए एक तलाशी अभियान का हिस्सा थे। इसी बीच वहां छिपे आतंकियों ने अंधाधुंध गोलियां बरसाते हुए भागने का प्रयास किया। सिर पर गोली लगने के कारण गंभीर रूप से घायल होने के बावजूद वो अंत तक लड़ते हुए अंततः वीर गति को प्राप्त हुए। मरणोपरांत कीर्ति चक्र से सम्मानित किया जाता है।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा क्या स्वाद है। अरे मेरे राजा राजा मसाला। All of these people Kolkata trap. The highest number of voters. Tamil Nadu votes decisive.
अफरा-तफरी का माहौल है, तोड़-फोड़ पथराव किया गया है।
I've always liked NDTV. It's the most reliable news channel more than anything.
TVK headquarters here.
Lot of thanks for NDTV. Congratulations to NDTV.
Thank the team for their incredible coverage.
Still unbanned.
So I really love the channel. I saw Shiv sir and I was really excited to meet him and tell hi. So I'm really happy I met you, sir. Thank you so much.
Happy meeting NDTV team here.
Thanks for NDTV.
Padmija Joshi. Sriyashi Dev. This is Shreya Ghosh. Ramandeep Chaudhary. Manogya Loiwal.
Deepak Bopanna.
This is Vikti.
Tanushka Datta.
Sam Daniel.
Vika Ramaswamy. Ritu Rajpurohit.
Shiv Arun.
To all our viewers who've joined us, thank you very much for spending your time, for trusting NDTV.
What seems settled for me is unfinished business. So I rewind, I pause, I reflect, I dig until what's buried stands up to be counted. Breaking ground, not just headlines, the meaning behind them. This is Breaking Ground with me, Vedika Sood.
India's unshakable news habit. NDTV.com is India's #1 English news website.
This is the show where we bring you all the hot and happenings from the world of entertainment and lifestyle.
Really?
Fashion that made you gag. Films that made you fangirl. Art that made it to the gram, and trends that kept us with the program. Hello and welcome to a brand new show. I am your host Mayank Chaudhary and this is Limelight.
Economy, business, world, technology. Noise filtered, numbers decoded. Insights that rewire your worldview.
From governance to growth, we connect the dots. Your daily edge, your global advantage. India Business Report with me, Gauri Dwivedi, weeknights on NDTV Profit.
This is where the future shows up first. Conversations with the biggest names in tech and AI. Putting tech through its paces. No fancy jargon or spec sheets, just what matters. If it's shaping the future, you'll see it here first. The Tesla Model Y. This is Tech 360. Real talk, real reviews across the NDTV network.
मीठा या नमकीन चाहे जैसे खाओ 100% सूजी से बनी आर प्योर वर्मिसेली स्वादिष्ट सेहतमंद हर रोज.
The results with the BJP winning more than 200 seats clearly answer those questions. Our teams on the ground, in the studios, in the newsroom, we keep tracking every twist. We try to stay away from the noise, try to use the election analytics to bring the coverage together for you. 90% voting is not common. That's 140 elections with less than 70%. Trivendru Adhikari leading at this moment. 5 states, 824 assembly seats. An election that felt more like a war.
Again going to shift focus to West Bengal, bring in our colleagues from the ground as well.
We've got some breaking news just coming in. Kanchan Gupta to wear this morning. Green was not one of them. Kanchanda, what's going on here?
Hella hobe.
Vijay is finishing off every existing political force. This holds, Pradeep Gupta will be dancing. Joining us now, live and exclusive on NDTV, the architect of this historic victory.
जनता को बधाई दे रहा हूं.
To all our viewers who've joined us in this long day, thank you very much for spending your time, for trusting NDTV.
The situation in the Strait of Hormuz right
Yes.
now and Iran, the last 48 hours have been tense. Is there a sense that strikes are imminent?
Iran can never have a nuclear weapon. And so the issues of enrichment and the highly enriched uranium have to be confronted. The straits cannot continue to be closed.
The import of American oil is important for India, particularly because of the situation.
India wants to diversify its energy. We want to diversify the countries we export to.
There is also an issue of visas for Indians. They have to come back to India for green cards now. Why has America taken this decision?
Well, it's not about India, it's about the whole world. Anytime you reform a system, there's going to be some disruptions, there's going to be some hiccups.
How did the meeting with the Prime Minister go? What did you discuss?
Relationship between the President, President Trump, and Prime Minister Modi. I think that always makes it easier to have these meetings because of the personal affinity they have to one another.
Thank you very much for
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
India Inc.'s most respected names chose India Inc.'s best and brightest.
I'm delighted to be chairing a meeting of such distinguished fellow businessmen, bankers. It's just lovely to be back on this NDTV jury. I have been a fan of NDTV for a long time.
Many of the nominees are extremely close together in terms of what they've done.
Gender parity to be reflected while we choose leadership as well.
It's also important that how they are reshaping the industries.
We've got a fantastic jury and we've left all decisions to the wisdom of the jury.
Who will earn India's top business honors? Find out on 3rd July at the NDTV Profit Business Leadership Awards.
The new Chief Minister of Karnataka, Mr. D.K. Shivakumar, with us. Sir, how do you want to really reshape the city and the states?
The entire country is watching us.
Yeah.
The Prime Minister also has assured us that he will cooperate.
Bharosa on Modi ji, an extraordinary management and assurance of courage given by Amit Shah ji to all the people. We are with you.
Illegal migrant, ये बांग्लादेशी घुसपैठिया के लिए ये दोनों पार्टी प्रतिबद्ध है, देश की जनता के लिए नहीं, इसलिए देश के जनता ने उसको नाकार.
भय से भरोसा is the transition which is happening now. भय से मुक्ति is the victory being depicted.
अब आपकी सरकार ओडिशा और बंगाल दोनों में है, तो रसगुल्ला किसका है? ओडिशा का या बंगाल का?
ओडिशा का है। महाप्रभु जगन्नाथ की रसगुल्ला है, रसगुल्ला दोनों की है।
I think it will be good to bring back the confidence of industry.
The people of Kerala understood the real politics of CPM and left the Democratic Front.
And that kind of victory is truly astonishing. And I do believe it marks a return of the Congress with the kind of mandate to bring about radical transformation.
The news, Ayush. Since when do we do scripts? Fair point. Picture this. The biggest stage. Floodlights. Wow. 4K, the works.
Where's the hook?
There's going to be celebrities and guaranteed eyeballs.
Where's the hook?
Think about this. Front page advertisements and hoardings.
Bro, where's the hook?
Cross-platform, digital first, virality.
Without a hook, no way. The message is clear. It's 2026. You gotta be real in a world of reels. You gotta be original in a world where everything seems generated.
That's it. That's what we're looking for.
The best campaigns.
The hottest trends.
The smartest brand moves on our new show.
But wait, what do we call it?
The hook.
Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7 with me, Raisha Saigal, and we're bringing you all the latest from India and the world. But first up, a quick check on the headlines. TMC turmoil reaches Parliament. Over 20 Lok Sabha MPs rebel, make Kakoli Ghosh their chief whip. Rebels to back NDA. Crisis deepens amid Mamata's Delhi visit as Bengal Chief Minister Suvendu Adhikari meets unhappy MPs. INDIA Bloc brainstorm in national capital. NDTV gets inside details. Rahul Gandhi flags lack of support from allies. SP calls for engagement with AAP and DMK. Mamata seeks support amid TMC implosion. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister Vijay surprises Grandmaster Pragnananda with a chess game and a rupees 50 lakh check at the Secretariat. Pragnananda made history in Oslo by becoming the first Indian to win the prestigious Norway chess title. Iran and Israel exchanged missiles earlier, but as we speak, there's been an end of hostilities between both the countries. In a rare visit, Chinese President Xi Jinping lands in Pyongyang. Xi's first visit to North Korea in 7 years, says China-North Korea ties stand at new historical starting point. All right, we're starting off with some breaking news. On top of the show, coming up next is how Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has now said that Iranian attacks have been halted for now, but warned that Israel would respond with force if Iran or Hezbollah launched fresh attacks towards Israel. Referring to recent hostilities, Netanyahu said Iran and Hezbollah had attempted to impose a new equation on Israel over the past 24 hours, a situation he described as unacceptable. Emphasizing Israel's right to self-defense, he said he had conveyed to US President Donald Trump that Israel would defend itself with determination. Netanyahu also issued a direct warning to Tehran, saying that any renewed aggression by Iran would trigger a powerful Israeli response, underscoring that Israel would continue to uphold its right to protect its security. And I would like to go across to my colleague Aditya for more on this. Aditya, on one hand, we've seen how Iran has said that until unless Israel does not attack Lebanon, we will not attack Israel. And we have statement from the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as well, where he says, where he's perhaps drawn the red line for Iran. Do you think we're in a quagmire kind of a situation, or do you think this is an end to all kind of hostilities right now?
Well, Rahisha, Israeli Prime Minister's statement comes merely 24 hours after we saw biggest provocation in recent weeks. So clearly, it is a huge statement of intent, clearly indicating that if there is a provocation coming in from the Iranian side and the IRGC, then there will be a strong response. He has said that as of now, Israel is halting all military activity against Iran. But in terms of the statements that came in from the US president to halt the hostilities, he has made it very clear that as of now, the military attacks will be halted, but if there is a provocation and if there is an attack, a strong retaliation will be expected. Yesterday also, when Iran launched 10 ballistic missiles, Trump had asked Netanyahu to calm down and not retaliate, but we saw attacks taking shape against Iran and then retaliation against by Tehran. So as of now, we'll have to wait and watch how things unfold in terms of the ceasefire agreement, but a strong statement coming in from the Israeli Prime Minister clearly indicating that the intent is very much clear to safeguard the security of the country. There will be a retaliation if Iran continues to provoke. As of now, Iran has indicated that they are also halting military activity. That means that Trump's diplomacy at play and the ceasefire negotiations behind closed doors only continue.
Absolutely, and with Trump also saying that despite both the sides exchanging fire, there will be ceasefire. But stay with me, Aditya. I'll come back to you shortly. We have other breaking news coming in right now, and this is regarding the Indian Navy and the Embassy of India. They've coordinated the rescue of 24 Indian seafarers from the oil tanker MT Mavericks, which experienced a fire off the coast of Oman. The Omani authorities ensured their safety after multiple attempts by the vessel to evade a US blockade. According to sources, we learned that MT Mavericks is a Palau-flagged vessel. It is a blacklisted OFAC-sanctioned vessel, and it is not Indian-owned. Over the last several days, the vessel made 4 attempts to evade the US blockade so far. I want to go across to Aditya for more on this. Aditya, tell us more about this blacklisted oil tanker which caught fire off Oman, and it had 24 Indian crew members who have now, of course, been rescued.
Well, yes, top sources within the government of India and Oman have confirmed to NDTV that the rescue has happened. This is MV Mavericks that we are talking about. Yeah. It's important to state here that this is not an Indian flagged vessel as was being reported in the international media earlier. It's been confirmed that this is a Palau, flagged vessel. There were 24 Indian nationals on board who have now been rescued after an emergency call was made for rescue. And of course, Indian government had interfered and intervened because there were Indian nationals on board this oil tanker. There were 4 attempts to pass through the US blockade that they had made over the last few days. On the 4th attempt, there was the US Navy that swooped into action and certainly tried to control this particular vessel. And immediately after, and as of now, they are very much safe in safe custody of the Omani authorities. And as of now, the situation seems to be normal.
Right. Thanks very much, Aditya, for sharing that very crucial update here with us. All right, shifting our focus to Gulf War 3.0, Iran has halted attacks on Israel with a Lebanon warning. And we've just heard that statement from the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu as well, who has said that Israel will not attack Iran until and unless there are no attacks from Iran and Hezbollah towards Israel. Let's now take a look at how the Gulf War escalated again and what all has happened in the last 24 hours.
Just hours after fears of a wider regional war intensified, a fragile opening for de-escalation has emerged in West Asia. Iran says it will halt strikes on Israel, but only if the latter stops attacking. Even as diplomatic messages fly, fresh threats and military action suggest the region remains dangerously close to another escalation. Monday marked Israel and Iran's most serious direct confrontation since April. Iran's top military command says any continued Israeli strikes, particularly against targets linked to its ally Hezbollah, will trigger what it calls a more severe response.
آمریکای جنایتکار و رژیم ددمنش صهیونیستی باید بدانند ایران قوی و سرافراز و نیروهای مقاومت افتخار آفرین در منطقه.
Amid the escalating crisis, US President Donald Trump stepped in with a public appeal. Stop shooting, Trump urged both sides, saying Iran and Israel appear to be moving toward an immediate ceasefire. The crisis extends far beyond Israel and Iran. From Gaza to Lebanon, multiple conflicts continue to fuel instability across the region. As diplomatic efforts intensify, one reality remains unchanged. There is still no clear sign that the turmoil is easing. Bureau Report for NDTV World.
And shifting our focus to other big news that we're tracking since morning. Big crisis brewing for Mamata's TMC. A similar rebellion like the Bengal Assembly broke out among Mamata's parliamentary MPs earlier today, who are here in New Delhi. Sources tell NDTV that the Kakoli Ghosh-led rebel faction has now written to Lok Sabha Speaker saying the future course aligns with the NDA. There are 20 out of 28 rebel MPs who are now siding with Kakoli Ghosh, and Kakoli Ghosh is perhaps now the leader of that rebel TMC MPs faction. They've said that they will be extending the support. Kakoli Ghosh has been made the chief whip of the rebel faction of the TMC, and Satabdi Roy is the deputy leader. Earlier today, rebel MPs also met with BJP's Bhupendra Yadav in a closed-door meeting. This after a shock exit of Sukhendu Roy, RS TMC MP, earlier today. And my colleague Vasudha Venugopal has spoken with the leader of the TMC rebel MPs, Kakoli Ghosh. Take a look.
The TMC is facing rebellion of sorts, and MPs are asking for answers. Dr. Kakoli Ghosh Dasidar is here with me. Dr. Dasidar, what is happening inside the TMC, and why are the MPs now rebelling?
The MPs have been elected by the common man. But I, through the past election, have been observing the mentality of the voters who have voted against the ruling dispensation, and they have been washed out. I am of that party. So I realized that whatever feeling I had towards the unemployment, towards the cut money culture, towards the health sector, failure that time through the Arjikar issue, then towards the this agency recruitment, then also the educational recruitment. There are various issues. So we are trying to change our political character and trying to go with the people's verdict. The people have told us through their mandate that they don't support the government. So if they are not supporting the government which is run by my party, we will have to sit separately and work for the people. That is our decision.
Dr. Ghosh, TMC is basically saying that the chief whip is Kalyan Banerjee. How will you want to look at this issue?
Who said the Kalyan Banerjee is the chief whip? The Speaker's office has told us that he was suddenly decided to be the chief whip, and it has not been accepted with the Speaker. I was the chief whip since September 2025. So that is why after we came to know that I am the chief whip, I have signed as the chief whip.
And how many MPs are with this faction, ma'am?
We are 20 of us who have signed today.
And my last question to you, you have spent a long time with Mamata Banerjee. What is your answer to those people who feel that these MPs are being disloyal to the party?
I told you that if the people's mandate goes against the main party or her functioning style, we have to go with the mandate of the people. So if we want to go with the mandate, we will have to work separately, giving respect to the people's mandate.
And you're firmly with the NDA now?
We have requested to sit separately and work with the central and state government.
Okay, with Mamata Banerjee facing a second rebellion here in New Delhi, take a listen to all the reactions that have been coming in since morning.
Ma'am, how many MPs were present in today's meeting?
We were at 20 in number.
Ma'am, what is the problem within the Trinamool Congress that you all decided to distance yourself?
You have seen from different media, I think, different media and social media, that what kind of corruption was going on. And after seeing all this, we have decided, and we have no voice within our party. So we have decided to to make a separate bloc so that we can raise our voice.
Ma'am, will this bloc be away from the Trinamool Congress and give support to the BJP, or will you all join hands with the BJP?
No, we have a separate bloc, so we will support NDA. Till now, we have decided.
Any meeting with BJP leadership like Amit Shah today or Narendra Modi for that matter? You all are already meeting Bhupendra Yadav.
No.
And ma'am, who's going to be the leader of this bloc?
I don't know. You can ask our chief whip, Dr. Kakuli Ghosh Dostidar, or our leader, means deputy leader Shatabdi Roy. They can answer this question.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. Thank you, ma'am.
बहुत अच्छा रही है, बहुत अच्छा.
So that was in fact Suvendu Adhikari, who in fact has just left from the residence of Bhupendra Yadav.
ये सिर्फ शुकेंदुदा का बात नहीं है. मैं शुकेंदुदा से बात नहीं हुआ मेरा, मगर टीवी में शुकेंदुदा का जो बयान है, मैं ये बयान देखा हूँ, सुना हूँ. शुकेंदुदा का जो उन्होंने बोले हैं, मैं मेजॉरिटी जगह में उनके साथ एकमत हूँ. और खास करके जहां तक पार्लियामेंट का अपर हाउस का फंक्शनिंग था, शुकेंदुदा जो बोले हैं वो एकदम सही है. पार्लियामेंट क्विज करने का जगह नहीं है. क्विज मास्टरी करने का अलग सा जगह है, स्टूडियो है. पार्लियामेंट का फ्लोर, पार्लियामेंट का हाउस के अंदर, हाउस के बाहर भी, वहां ये मैं पहले भी बोल चुका हूं कि अभिषेक बंदोपाध्याय का जो संगठन लोग बोलते हैं, उस संगठन में बंगाली में आप जानते हैं संघ का मतलब क्या है, गठन का मतलब क्या है. उसमें संघ है मगर गठन नहीं है.
ना ज्यादा विरोधी दल एक साथ आएंगे तो उसको तो एक एडवांटेज होगा ही, शक्ति बढ़ेगा. तृणमूल कांग्रेस पर बहुत ज्यादा हमला हो रहा है, आक्रमण हो रहा है, तो दूसरे लोग साथ रहेंगे तो तृणमूल का शक्ति मिलेगा. जैसे अभिषेक बनर्जी पर जब व्यक्तिगत हमला हुआ तो मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे, राहुल गांधी, कांग्रेस के ओर से उसको निंदा किया. यही मॉरल समर्थन, नैतिक समर्थन मिलता है. हाँ, दिया.
क्या कहा?
आने को बोला.
आपकी तरफ से क्या प्रतिक्रिया?
नहीं जाएंगे.
See, as far as the implosion of the TMC is concerned, I as the official spokesperson of Bharatiya Janata Party would not be able to comment on what is happening within their own party. Whether they have given in writing or not to the officials concerned in the parliament, I believe we'll have to wait for the officials to confirm that. But nonetheless, media being the fourth pillar of democracy, when media reports this along with the authentic bites, authentic statements of sitting leaders, and when we have resignation letters of sitting member of parliament of the TMC, of course, all is not well within TMC. And when all is not well within one's own family, जब अपने ही घर के लोग बीमार हो, तो अपने घर के लोगों को ठीक करने का प्रयास करना चाहिए, न कि बाहर जाके षड्यंत्र करने की साजिश.
Meanwhile, INDI Alliance held a crucial meeting to determine its future strategy with 23 political parties in attendance. Following the breakdown of its alliance with Congress, the DMK and the Aam Aadmi Party skipped the meet, while TMC, SP, NCP and PDP attended the meeting. Cracks appear to be widening among the allies. DMK left and the Aam Aadmi Party, they all have slammed Congress, although Shiv Sena UBT has backed Rahul Gandhi. In his opening remark, Congress Chief Mallikarjun Kharge hailed allies for defeating delimitation bill. He also urged allies to stand united against SIR and keep fighting BJP. 5 outcomes, with the Bloc vowing to write a letter to CJI over Bengal voter theft and demand resignation of the education minister as well. The alliance also demanded an all-party meet on India's economic situation. The alliance also decided to meet every 2 months, with the next meeting scheduled for August in Hyderabad.
5 पॉइंट पे आज सहमति जताई है. It was agreed to send a letter to Chief Justice of India on SIR. Second point, it was unanimously agreed to demand the immediate resignation of the education minister, because he presided over the betrayal of lakhs of youth who appeared for NEET and CBSE examination. Third point, the union government should immediately call an all-party meeting to discuss the precarious current economic situation.
We're slipping into a very short break. Come right back. News and updates continues here on NDTV 24/7.
From the newsroom to the studio to the thick of political action.
You're watching NDTV 24/7. The hope is that beyond this election, this will be one of the major issues. With multiple challenges in the fray, the TMC also has done a bit of rejigging. Remember, this is also a district that has been plagued by communal violence. Come to some of the sabhas that the BJP is also organizing, especially in the villages of West Bengal.
When stories have impact.
Mamata Banerjee, managing editor and prime-time anchor.
Then news has influence. The buck stops here with Padmaja Joshi.
Your work is being watched by people. You think that you're making an impact in this time. I think that's really a huge validation, very rewarding, and I'm pretty certain that Team NDTV will go from strength to strength.
Higher end, check the audio, higher end, check the audio.
Let's do it, let's start. Big news that we're breaking first here on NDTV.
We know for sure that they have, confirmed their support to him.
We've got a picture of the letter. The breaking story, we're jumping straight into it.
They do not want to be part of an experiment.
Show around and then come to me. At the Nehru Stadium in Chennai.
Unconditional support.
Giant killer of TVK is here with us.
We've got Mr. Dinakaran with us here. Veera, why aren't you also dancing?
Vijay is coming out, TVK chief.
Big breaking story here on NDTV. Nobody else has these details. Thank you for all the support. Thank you for the viewership. Thank you for the love.
Welcome back. Well, the World Cup fever is at its peak, from giant human waves in Mexico to juggling record attempts in the US, and even a Viking-themed send-off from Norway as teams head to the tournament. Take a look.
Football
fans filled the streets in Mexico to rehearse and perform a huge human wave, an attempt to set a new Guinness World Record outside a stadium. Music, dance and traditional indigenous makeup set the scene as supporters celebrated the World Cup coming to North America.
Hay que estar en estos momentos que aunque sean muy sencillos, pero demuestran mucho para nuestro mismo país y para toda la gente internacional. Que sepan que México tiene un gran corazón y con gusto los vamos a recibir a todos. Y en este mundial, pues todos son bienvenidos, van a ser bien recibidos en este país.
The event doubled as a welcome for visiting fans and a showcase of Mexico's hospitality and culture. Part festival, part record bid. Local organizers